Hey YouTubers! I just wanted to take a couple of minutes today to discuss something that I was thinking about for Dragon Ball Super. And I was wondering, basically an open question to you guys, but I'm going to discuss my opinions on this, and I want everyone to go down to the comment section below if you haven't already, and to tell me what you think about this particular question. But does Dragon Ball Super now have a baby problem? And I know that's kind of a weird question, but let me kind of break it down. So, when we got into the original Dragon Ball, you have Goku, kind of a kid situation. They let him stay in that kid situation for a very long time. Then you had the same thing with Gohan, most a kid but growing up through most of the series. And then you had basically the exact same thing with the very end of Dragon Ball Z and throughout, I guess, for the most part, Super with Goten and Trunks, basically perpetual child mode, never actually growing up. But now we have two new children into the mix, and I guess three if you really count Oob, but we've had him mentioned twice now, but he's never actually been in the show enough to actually give us any indication of whether or not we're going to see him as a baby, or obviously he's more of a toddler child right now, so we're not going to probably see him until they get to the tournament or everything, because I'm pretty sure they just recently said that Oob is definitely not going to be shown or something. They're not necessarily going to retcon the ending of Dragon Ball Z, but that's a whole different topic. One of the things I was just wondering is, so we have Pan and we have Brawl, two basically, they're babies at this point. I guess you can count Marin, but Marin at this point should be like 10. She still looks like a toddler. But you have Pan and Brawl. And the only reason I'm asking this is because with Brawl now being born, and the kind of shots that we've gotten with Bulma and how she's with the sleeping Brawl or something, she's with her child. I'm wondering if they're going to basically maneuver into the storylines around Brawl and showing her interactions with Bulma and Vegeta and everyone else to begin with, and kind of pivot away from that of Pan, who, for the most part, you got to break it down. For the most part, Pan was a very, very vital character throughout most of Dragon Ball. I mean, one of the most significant things was the God Ritual, and without her, it wouldn't have been possible, and then Beerus would have just blown up the planet and all this other stuff. I mean, that's plot convenience for what it's worth, but it is worth noting that she has been seen a lot in this series. She's been kind of explained, and we've even gotten to see the extent of her powers. Her flying around the Earth in the kind of space area when the Pilaf gang was basically trying to, I guess, kidnap her for ransom. And then you got to see, she literally took Trunks' finger and picked him up. Everyone knows that she's flying. I mean, obviously there's a lot of potential there. And they're either going to do the same thing with Brawl as they did with Pan, or they're going to pivot away and focus on a completely different thing. Now, and I'm wondering whether or not we're ever going to see Pan as much as we did earlier on, because now we have this new character, this new person to focus on that has something to do with the story. So I really wanted to just break down my opinion about Brawl and Pan and why they've been introduced. I mean, obviously they had to because of the story, but why they've been introduced right now and what they mean for the future of the series. And why I think, for the most part, while I do believe we have a baby problem, I don't necessarily want to say it just yet. I really think one of the things that we're going to get, especially with Pan, is a couple episodes ago, Dende was talking to Goku and told him about, there's Oob and maybe you should train Oob and everything. And Goku was like, yeah, but I don't necessarily do that. I'm not necessarily a mentor in that regard. And obviously, we all know how Dragon Ball Z ends, so apparently, Goku's going to go and take Oob and train him, and obviously Oob, like I've already mentioned in a couple of other videos, has great potential. But how do we get there? How do we get from Goku going, no, I don't necessarily have that in me, I don't train people, I'm always trained, or I get trained, or I train myself, yada yada yada. I really think one of the things they're going to start pivoting towards with Pan's character as the series drags on and gets probably closer to a close than it is right now, because as we mentioned, it's not going to end anytime soon with just how popular this series is. But I really think one of the things they're going to do is basically have Goku start to train Pan, because one of the things we see at the ending of Dragon Ball Z is that Goku is basically training Pan. He's having her fly around the Earth 3 times or something like that. He's allowing her to take part of the tournament, all this other stuff that's going on. Obviously, she has a ton of potential, as we've seen throughout Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. So she's going to be his first, I guess, quote unquote student. I mean, we see him basically sparring with Goten. He spars with people, but he is in the process of training her, and she's going to be the, I guess, way to maneuver Goku from, no, I don't necessarily train anybody, to, yeah, I'm going to go train this kid, and he's going to give me like a really good fight. You know, if Frieza's any indication, with all the big news recently, if that's any indication of how strong Oob can become if he gets trained properly, then that's going to be awesome. With Brawl, I really think it's kind of the opposite, really, and I think that that's actually a really cool thing, because if Pan is a catalyst for Goku's character development and character arc from, you know, just like always the trainee instead of the trainer, then I think Brawl is going to be another thing that basically Baby Trunks and Future Trunks were in the Cell games, where his domestication, like his real kind of, I guess, taking his character and maneuvering him from more of a wild animal type of just completely hard person to more of a loving, caring father. We've seen a lot of that throughout Dragon Ball Super thus far. I mean, one of the biggest things that we've talked about is that fact that Vegeta, out of everyone, has had a huge amount of character development in the series. But at the same time, even right now, you know, he's still the guy who will leave for weeks and in months on end to go literally stand on a mountain and look up in the rain and all that other stuff, as we saw earlier on in the series. He's not at that point. He can't even go on like a family vacation and stay the entire time. He has to leave. And by the end of Dragon Ball Z, you know, he's very much a domesticated husband in that sense. He had, you know, he's wearing earthling clothes. He goes to literally visit Goku with Bulma. He's staying with her all the time. And from the looks of it, it doesn't seem like Brawl has been forced to train or wants to train the same way that Trunks was, which was a big bonding moment for them going into the Buu arc. So I really think that her character is not only going to be someone that we can look up to and be like, yeah, like that character is like, obviously it kind of highlights how good of a mother Bulma is. She's always been a very good mother, but it will really be the person to put that domesticated sense that we see from Vegeta at the end of Dragon Ball Z, and kind of propel him to be more of a husband, loving father, someone who can go to the family park vacation day and stay the entire time and not get fed up or embarrassed or anything like that. And I really think that that's basically these two characters' main focus right now. Now, like I said, I'm not necessarily sure how long this show is going to go on. I don't know how much Pan and Brawl are going to grow up, and in that case, I don't even know when exactly Trunks and Goten are going to grow up, but considering the fact that they do have these characters right now, it wouldn't be hugely surprising for me to see them actually allow Goten and Trunks to grow up eventually at some point, and replace them with these particular children who will, like I said, be the catalyst for these particular character development or growth situations for Goku and Vegeta. And personally, I think that's actually a really cool concept, using two female Saiyans, or, you know, half-part Saiyans, to, I guess, take your two main characters and put them on more, I guess, subtle paths. They're getting older. They're not necessarily the same people that they used to be, and fundamentally change their development and their characterizations from each other into what we saw at the ending of Dragon Ball Z. So, like I said, guys, this is just something, like, honestly, this is just my personal opinion, something I would really like to see. I'm not necessarily sure that Brawl and Pan are going to be vitally important in the future of Dragon Ball Super or any Dragon Ball series that's like after. As a fighting role, I really think they're going to be used as a catalyst to change Goku and Vegeta, like I keep saying. So I want to hear what you guys have to think about this, or you guys think about this in general, and just go down in the comment section below, share all your thoughts and opinions. What do you think about my thoughts? Any other things that you think that they could be used for in any way, shape, or form? And I'm going to catch y'all in the next open question video. I really do hope that y'all have had a good day. And yeah, okay guys, have a nice day. Bye.